1880, the U.S. commercial whaling industry is really on the decline. He goes up and down the East Coast looking for a whaling captain who's willing to harpoon a whale as close to shore as possible, tow it back to him on shore. It sounds like from Newton's letters that he tried a lot of different whaling captains before he finally found one in Provincetown. Then in November of 1880, he got a telegram saying that his contact in Provincetown had captured him a whale and had towed it back to shore. Newton then hired someone to tow the whale from Provincetown Harbor to Boston Harbor, which is a good distance. And they lifted it out of the water and put it on two specially reinforced rail cars that had been built for the purpose of exhibiting this whale. And from what I understand, although the proprietors are very cagey about the details for reasons you can probably imagine, it seems like the whale was at least partially cut open and gutted and filled with a combination of salt and ice.
A visitor begins his observation generally at the head of the fish, looks into his capacious mouth, feels of the long, bony hair that supply the place of teeth, hunts for the eyes, the snout, and then the ears, walks along the side of the creature, catches hold of the huge fin, punches the monster in the side as if to ascertain if it is ribless, and finally brings up at the tail of the huge fellow where the broad flukes are spread. The Daily Inter-Ocean.
Throughout the winter of 1881, after Chicago, the whale goes to Milwaukee, St. Louis, Cincinnati, Louisville, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, Cleveland, Toledo, and Detroit.
Toledo? Phew! What a smell! Fishy smell. To the heavens it seemed to swell. We asked our friend if he is acquainted here. He says no, so 'twould do no good to ask why this aroma. But passing along, a handbill is thrust into our hands, telling us of the whale dead and in bad odor, being in the city, and then we understood whence this all-pervading perfume. The Kalamazoo Telegraph, May 1881.
By 1883, newspapers all over the Midwest and the East Coast started publishing reports that a leftover of the whale show, that a kind of ruin of the whale, had turned up on a sidetrack in Chicago, and that local kids were going around and poking holes in the whale and discovering that its interior was filled with sawdust and hay and straw. That things are not always what they seem is exemplified in the case of this whale. The skin and tail of this monarch of the vasty deep was all that it purported to be, but its frame, alas, was of iron and hickory, and its flesh of sawdust and other deceptive lightweights.